Now let's minimize our risk of accidentally clicking outside and triggering something. So, I'm a little slow today. Had to go out this morning, which means I had breakfast at an odd time, and so my hernia is mad at me, because basically I have to eat exactly right and drink exactly right all the time, or my hernia gets mad at me. Special fuck yous to Chase Brexton, Mercy Medical Center, and Johns Hopkins Bayview for not treating it. Fat people deserve healthcare too. Fuck you. Especially Dr. Nora Megahen at Mercy Medical Center, who told me to my face that it would be immoral. Fuck you. I don't want to say this because, like, in what is following, I do not want it to be impugned as somehow me saying obesity is bad. I like being fat. I like being squishy. I like being able to have people go, wee, that's your belly, and cuddle. I think it's a good thing. But apparently, Dr. Megahan thinks that it's immoral to be fat and immoral to provide medical care to people who are fat, to which, therefore, I pray, Inshallah, may the next 7 generations of your descendants be as large as I am. Maybe when you have a bunch of roly-poly grandchildren, you'll start going, oh, maybe we should provide medical care to fat people. So if I'm a little short-tempered, it's because I'm in pain. But there's not much to do about it. I see Halabali's in chat, which means Halabali is probably in Discord. So, I did realize we did forget to do something last week. Last week, we started Endwalker, and there's something we should have done. I'm gonna wait till the ad finishes. There's something we should have done last week, because we started Endwalker. I was just in such a hurry, because I love Thavner, and I love the cute elephant gal. And part of me was kind of hoping that we would start with Sharlyan and then go into Thavner, because I might have a denial kink. Shush. But anyway. Also, I'm annoyed at my company, because my company had kind of implied that they were sending me a small package, and then they had a big package that they had implied was going to sit on my desk, because it wasn't important, I didn't need it for work. And when the small package comes, I can finally go into the office and get to my desk. So when I went out this morning to do errands, I didn't bring a big bag to carry a big package home, because I assumed I had a small package, which I could slide into my jacket. No, it's this big fucking box, and I had to make the people working at FedEx run around and find stuff to jury-rig something so that I could actually carry the box home. And they were very good-spirited about it, even though it obviously pissed them off as much as it pissed me off. I think they were partially as good-spirited about it because they could tell that I was as mad that this was a big package as they were that I didn't have a bag. Like, and I go to the 7-Eleven next door. If you're in Baltimore, this is the FedEx and 7-Eleven by Johns Hopkins University. Because you can get there on the free bus. It takes a little longer, but you can get there on the free bus. And I am a fan of free. And I didn't need to go to the 7-Eleven, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a really fancy building right next to one of the most prestigious universities in the world, and there's a 7-Eleven. I have to go in, and it is shit. It is a shithole, just like every other 7-Eleven in the universe. The 7-Eleven there is a bit of a shithole. Got a couple of things of drink, got a couple of taquitos that were not cooked properly, which did not help the hernia issues. Had a lovely chat with the guy working there about, you know, the situation. But, like, it was slightly annoying because I'm disabled, I use a cane, and there's this steep flight of stairs. And as I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'll come back again, he goes, oh, you can push the button for the elevator. And right there by the front, by the stairs, like the stairs take up half of the stairwell. The other half of the stairwell I thought was just like a wall thing. No, it's a freight elevator. They have a freight elevator to bring the supplies up and down. And he's just like, yeah, just next time that you come in, shout, "Hi, elevator," and he'll come send down the freight elevator. I'm like, I'm 400 pounds, but I'm not quite sure that I need to go up in a freight elevator. But I do appreciate that they have handicap accessibility in mind, because there's not a lot of that on the East Coast. Like, to get into the FedEx, you have to go down a steep flight of stairs, and there's apparently a handicap accessibility behind the building, but, like, that would mean going around the building and then in through, like, the truck delivery bay and such. Point being, I had an adventure. And then I'm, like, on my way out, and I'm limping towards the stop, and I see the bus come up there, and I'm like, well, I'm not catching that bus. And the guy just steps out to take a smoke, and I'm like, thank you, drug addiction. So I got to catch that bus. It was not as nice as the bus up there, where I got to have a conversation with a lady about the mosquito problem, because it's spring in Baltimore, there's mosquitoes. And I'm like, well, I have a solution, but it's not good for people with gentle skin. And she's like, I have gentle skin. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, you can still try it. Maybe it'll work for you. It's peppermint oil. And she's like, oh gosh, that makes me rash. And I'm like, well, you should not then. I also kind of, yeah. But yeah, the ad break is done, and there's something I forgot to do last week. And I heard someone come in chat. Who's in chat?
Hello.
Hello. There's something I forgot to do last week on stream, which I need to do now. I was supposed to do it at the start. It's the demo reel.
Oh.
Do you want to be prepped up and watch with us?
No thanks, I've already watched it.
Ah, well. I've already watched it too, but for the chat and for the VODs, for anyone who might be watching this because they're interested in how we play it. This was the trailer my ex showed me to get me into the game, actually.
You know. And I've had enough of this rabble.
You say it, my precious daughter.
As the chaos spread, the star seemed doomed to unravel, and yet there were those who stood in defiance of that fate.
That asshole. I hate Fan Daniels so much. Non-sexual.
As we feared, the respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
While the world is lost to ruin.
It would. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must then, but we scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Yay! Worsty! I do look forward to, like, round whatever we're on being Scythe versus Scythe.
I think this could be Spies if we count Shinryu and his fight beforehand a separate.
Let's go. Yay, there we go. Now we've done it, and no one can criticize me.
Okay.
I've tried, so no one can criticize me. Yes, that is a Locked Tomb reference.
Oh.
Have you not read The Locked Tomb yet?
No.
You need to. It is so...
Was that the one with the necromancer?
Yeah, it's the Necromancers in Space one.
Oh, okay.
The Necromancers in Space quartet, of which only 3 books are out. Now, my phone said that there was something waiting for me. So, it's not here. That's $48. How about you? There's 41,000 gil. What on earth got sold for 41,000 gil? My flatbread! Jirali bought my Flatbread. Yay.
Neat.
Oh, you can't trade. Grr.
Hmm?
You can't trade. Take the money, I'm trying to make a joke.
Oh. I didn't even see that.
And... dang, it only cost me 12,000 gil to buy you.
Alright, there you go, I guess.
I'm doing a little stream test because I'm not sure I trust that my current situation for saving my graphics settings. In fact, I feel like they improved. Indeed they did. It looks like improve a little. There we go. Now there's no radial occlusion or anything. So, I have to go back to Isilbard to the great work. So expensive. I haven't done anything to acquire flying in the area yet.
I did a handful of quests, but that's it.
One of these days, I'm going to just do a second stream to get flying in these areas, assuming my job lets me. Thancred. To the satrap of Ratatan. First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nidhana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Okay. And I see Ura running away from the big meeting. SMH.
I don't like meetings.
Oh, Nidhana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidhana's trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? Mm-hmm. Then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nidhana proved as peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all who were taken might be saved. Aye, as alchemists, this is how we'll help win the fight. Yay! My friends, the satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of warding scales with you. As for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidhana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he'd like to discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it's agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razatan for an audience with His Excellency? Yeah. We'd be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be a benefit of all. Then it is settled. Please come to the gates east of the Giant Skull grounds, and I will show you into the city. Alrighty. Let me rearrange things a little. Where am I going? That way! Where apparently Ura has already gone way ahead of me. That's not a way through. It looks like it's a way through, but I know it's not. I have to go up and around. I'm gonna cut across the mountains.
No.
No, I can't. Wait, are you a sage?
Yep.
Did you get... How do you tell those abilities apart from one another? I tried to touch Sage once and I'm like, this is all Greek to me, quite literally.
I kind of just had to memorize them.
Ugh.
It's been a while since I've played Sage, so I'm a little rusty.
So you're gonna get us all killed, is what you're saying.
Probably. I already leveled up Sage by accident through PvP.
Oh gosh, you're already level 100. Gosh, is it obvious that I'm busy with work and don't play very often?
This is like back like several months ago, actually.
I mean, I say that, but I feel like overall my character's levels aren't too terrible. And I did come to loving Reaper relatively late. Varshan! Let us in. Then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert. Strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permission, I ask you to remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Favnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rads at Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megaduta. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside.
There's something somber about coming in this at night. We're getting smuggled in the deepest darkness. Who's messaging me?
Bless you.
Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid.
Letting people know I'm on stream and having them not bother me. Okay. Hi, guy.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzatan.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who does an absolutely horrendous fantasy Indian accent.
Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale.
And for context, like, for the last decade and a half the people I've worked with have been Indian immigrants. So I know what an Indian accent sounds like, and it does not sound like this.
Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
Like, it's not racist, but it's just definitely British guy doing India. Nithana, she was taken.
A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me.
Wow.
Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn.
That explains where they got the dragon scales.
I am Vritra.
I could have swore they already mentioned there was a dragon here.
Served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Ooh, old dragon.
I, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sorma's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Rads at Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility, when it seemed all would be drowned in blood. Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Rads at Han.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Oh.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within a semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my whip."
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with wards fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered. Estinian warm blood.
Damn.
From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another. Yet did neither one of us bear his fangs.
I'm sorry, I need a moment. Bro literally just said, yeah, you killed my brother. Let's not worry about that right now.
That is all I need know of thee for now.
I've also noticed that, like, Vitra's speaking common instead of the dragon language.
I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Rads at Han. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, Should it lay within our power to dispel its wicked influence, yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions, and should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the 4 of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall we spend in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlyan is in order.
Do we get to attune to the Aetherite first?
Wilt thou not lend
Hopefully.
thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Rads at Han,
I guess
see
not.
no reason to refuse, nor will I.
Estinian, we need to get you into some, like, public speaking course, or private speaking course. Bitch needs etiquette. Bitch needs etiquette 101.
I am in thy debt.
I think I could use some of those classes too.
Oh, we don't get to attune. I wanna... Let me attune. Let me attune. The meeting took a rather unexpected turn. Now we have a clear objective ahead of us. Let's rejoin our comrades in Sharlyan and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the Aetherite before departing, unless you enjoy violent nausea. I want to attune to that one, though. The one in Radzatan. Where? Well...
Well,
back to Sharlyan.
yay.
I'm sad we don't get to go jump off the bridge in Radzatan. I'm happy that we get to be back in Sharlyan, though. I like Sharlyan.
Yay.
See?
Dang,
This-
I thought we'd be in Avenir longer.
This over here? This reminds me of Keldon Square in Baltimore. Only Keldon Square has more trash because it's Baltimore. And there's like nowhere in the city that doesn't have a shit ton of trash because no city can be perfect, and if Baltimore fixed the trash problem, it would be. But this is just like Keldon Square. I love it. You know, if you ever like, ooh, the dock's there, I want to be there, but with more trash, then just come to Baltimore. Go to the harbor. The rest of Sharlyan, I don't think there's anywhere like it in Baltimore. You will be sorely disappointed. But, like, there. Even the boat. Yay. Hi, Ojika. I am not needing a nap. I just wanted to say hi.
I thought we'd be there longer. I even made a glam more appropriate for the weather.
I like Lodwick's little Lunar Envoy's Jester crops of casting. Those are cute. I guess that's level 90 Tomestone gear. Dunfred. As I was getting used to balmy Thavnir, we're back in chilly Sharlyan. Take care not to cast your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, your investigation here remains, but when it's over, we can take stock of all the developments and discoveries. Yay. You know what? If we're going to be in Sharlyan a while, where it's warm, I'm going to dress into something more appropriate. Okay. I am dressed for the weather here. Kryle. Give me shoes. An unsettling change has come over Sharlyan. Together, we'll divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the councillors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they're willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Sharlyan's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice to say, the progress has been slow. There's only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I have a band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside the Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, you'll find the archives on the western end of the woods.
Oh dear.
To the library! I'm gonna put my weapon away if we're going to the library. Actually, maybe this is not the outfit to wear to the library. What do you think? Or should I wear this outfit to the library?
Not sure.
Or should I wear something more appropriate, if I have something more appropriate prepared for the library? Most of my outfits I have are less appropriate. Oh god, no! Aha. I'm prepared for the library.
Let's see. Well, I'll take this outfit out for now.
Alright then, lead the way to the library.
This is actually my summoner glam.
Is there summoner glam?
Yep.
I'm tempted to go into my black mage glam. Am I... Wait. No, I have to.
Or should I go with my scholar?
I don't have any gear sets because of that. Okay, where are you?
I took the wrong turn.
I stopped following you because I'm trying to find my book. Do I not have a scholar's book? There I go. If we're going to the library, it needs to be the scholar. Pay no attention to my gauges.
Then I'll Use my scholar glam too.
I'm hiding everything. This is going to be my I'm running around and not caring about the world outfit. HUD display. To remind me to get the hell out of here before I do anything else. Oh, I forgot to get rid of you. You get out of here too. There we go. Haha. I am ready for scholarship. Kryl, let's learn. My directions are easy to follow, I hope. And in case you stand now before the doors of Nomenon, Sharlyan's greatest collection of books and tomes. The building's actually only an entrance, one of many at that, for the archives of the Nomenon extend deep below the surface, like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the Great Kupal Library pale in its comparison to the Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Sharlyan is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Y'shtola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alice and Alphino will help me continue my search for the stacks open to the public. Your status presents more of a problem. As not a citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Sharlayan history and the Forum's policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let's be all about it, then. I'm told the others to meet us at the stone benches when they found promising tomes. Happy reading! Onward.
Alright.
To scholarship.
Alright, I guess we're just gotta do what we gotta do.
Looking for books. Excuse me, miss? Can you help me find the secrets of your people? Are you looking for a specific problem? Only Archons may check out forbidden tomes, but if there's anything else you require, simply say the word. She won't help me check out the books I want to check out. Brightly colored, the story of Sharlyan. Ooh. Long, long ago, on an island in the northern sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Nunkref. Nunkref was a student of astrology, and he divined a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a giant ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror the strangely churning waters drove people towards the ocean. It was there that Nunkref's crew hauled them aboard his ark, but the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nunkref wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the ship to safety atop Amalanthia's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside him. It was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Wait, is this the big boat that's in Alamigo? Saddened by the sight, Nunkref gathered to him his crew and grateful passengers, abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent on returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island, settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time became the city of Sharlyan we live in to this day. Ah, I see. So they helped and got burned once, thousands of years ago. Tisk tisk. Red Book. Rose of Old, the Colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Thalnik and the Dravinian hinterlands, a Sharlayan colony once thrived. The settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. The scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in strictures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Sharlyans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Sharlyan colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Sharlyan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland.
No. That explains a bit.
In response, some Sharlyan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it another name, Idleshire. The following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire, which we already know because we've been there. Well.
Oh well. At least I now figured out what was going on with that.
Granville. Ugh, don't care about a guy. Nope. Enjoy your studies. Leather-bound tome. What sort of leather? Is it skin? Voice of a growing city. In the years which followed the founding of Sharlyan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, the format became increasingly impractical. The larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions. But in the year 201 of the successful era, it was ultimately decreed that Sharlyan would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from among their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Forum as we know it today conceived and created. See, that didn't stop Maryland from having that problem, but Maryland resolved it by randomness.
By randomness?
You apply to speak in front of the assembly as a citizen, and the applications get thrown into a hat. It's more advanced now because 21st century, but they're just thrown into a hat and you get just picked at random. Which means that if you want to give your side, you have to make sure you have lots of people putting in their numbers into the hat, and then if more than one person gets picked, you just say, "Oh, we were gaming the system," and then they're annoyed at you, but they just redraw the other spots because everyone does it. It also means that if you can keep quiet, that you're mass spamming the resolutions for speaking, you can get all of the slots taken up by people on your side. It's very funny. An introduction to the heavens. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained wherein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but the vastness beyond, of the sun and twinkling tapestry of the night. If so, you should take the astrologian class. Some think the dome above us a finite space amongst the leading thinkers of our age. One scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. It was the technology of Alag who came closest to understanding the laws which govern the starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having read the ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waned or waxed? What if I were to tell you the ethereal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past, but their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly but measurably as we journey to the future? Would it shock you to learn the stars drift further and further apart, and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? This book is on the wrong subject. I think we figured that out pretty fast. Well-worn manual. Forever 20 summers. My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I, too, once engaged in such foolish practices, but one night engrossed in philosophical study I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra: I am forever 20 summers young. The number itself is unimportant. You could be 19 or 23 or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Though mindful, healthy living, will you extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research? Will another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue? In the pages that follow, we'll explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from a biological, aetherological, and arcane viewpoint. Wow! I could be 20 again!
I don't think it works like that.
I could be 20 again! Yay!
It doesn't work like that. The manual said at the age you discovered.
It said that's how you should aspire, but I aspire to greater. I aspire for my friends who say, yeah, I'm never going to date anyone under 25, to look at me and go, well, I can't date you, you're too young. Stewards of Wisdom. Do you want to read this one?
Okay. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Yumkurp, founder of the Sharlyan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern Empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war, and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Sharlyans took to heart the words of their savior, and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from the strength of minds, rather than the strength of arms. With knowledge and economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth in a coin. And more, their wisdom spread throughout the world. And more... I can't focus.
The more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Sharlyan would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. Yay! Frickin' low-key heaven, oh my god. Doesn't it just seem great to just be somewhere and just be able to just study? Not have to spend hours and hours a day making somebody lots and lots of money. Destination! There's a burb in the in-game chat. What's this? Sorry, were you waiting long? I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Crowell should be along shortly. I was delayed in a similar fashion. As far as I can tell, no titles in the Archon stacks mention the final days specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read, a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. It's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return, we're not to be allowed across the threshold. Harsh measure indeed. I hope our efforts to understand his position, and that of the Forum, will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Ah, well, my situation's somewhat complicated. I was raised in Sharlyan, yes, but I was born rather far away. In the southern reaches of Isambard, in fact. For generations my people have dwelt in Corvos, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnair. The Allagans founded a city in this fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Makote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allagan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvos under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amonis. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allagan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allagan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born with the Allagan Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Valdezian, who had me registered as a Sharlayan citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louisoix, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Sharlayans than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we were all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity, we outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. This is exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear! Another good reason to get to the bottom of the Forum's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try and make some headway in these books. More company should be arriving any moment now. Study time!
I am back. Sorry, my brain broke after that last volume.
Do you not want to be Forever 20?
Not that one, the other one.
Do you not like the stars?
The one after that.
Can you not read?
I tried, but I broke my mind.
Chat. I don't think Ura knows how to read. And you can see it says, wait at the designated location again. But it won't let me read while I wait. So sad. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Kryl had already flicked through the history book devoted to disasters, more than a few of which barely made mention of them. As such, we'll be looking into research papers on the Umbral Calamities, as well as articles written by the prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, may I ask you a few questions about the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and I fear I may be overlooking critical details. Now thinks, where to begin? First things first, what kind of phenomenon did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? A complete destabilization of their creation magics. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc in all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spin out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fires erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived to present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Y'shtola surmises the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Ascians. Was there aught else of note that heralded the approach of the final days? They say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Oh yes, the Amorites spoke of it, didn't they? I never did hear the sound ourselves, thrust as we were in the midst of the madness. It seems each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by this ominous noise. Eventually it resounded all across the star, and not even Amarot was spared. So the ground was crying out, you say? To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive, and probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of Nominen's mammoths, ask after any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive actions did they take? Zodiarch. They summoned Zodiarch. Yes, with Elidipus serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiarch brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives spouted anew. It was these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiarch. A trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Venat and her followers not manifested their opposition in the form of Hydaelyn. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophoroi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen that they're doing these towers of theirs. It's forcing people to summon primals, a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? It's all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let's return to our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but it's time we began studying these research papers. I'll come too. Unlike Ura, I can read. Let me help! There are others better suited to poring over old history books, so I thought I'd try my luck with more recent events. If I can find anything better to inform the forum's baffling behavior. The books are all split up. I guess I have to join you in Can't Read Gang.
We're being watched.
We're being watched. I see them. Rain M. I'm the last, am I? On my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Oriange learned of the source's reflections from the Garen oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, the tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Gooba Library. It was even less likely the knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on the shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet, when you confronted Master Fortunal with the knowledge of the Telophoroi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us. Which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it's being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, the books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. Books! Hey, that's where the person was watching from. Shola, there's a guy watching us there. You labor for what feels like an age as Ishtola's research assistant. That was the best job I ever had.
I want to read comics.
There's a Halamali there too. And who's Ava Moss? I don't know these people. Rah! Ah! I've got black painted. I must back to the MSQ. That's not letting me type goodbye. Kryl. Oh dear, you look exhausted. What about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? The day was well spent. Should you wish me to read them again, a man to the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Yay! I have shoes. I think this is enough to... Okay, if I need my scholar outfit, I need that there. Oh, I forgot to... Okay, you need to become my scythe. There you are. Oh, I was wearing the wrong... I was in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So I got scholar shoes instead of proper shoes. Okay. They're taking pictures.
I know it is.
They're like, oh my gosh, look at the little ones doing their little thing. Let's give them a show. Alice. Okay, I don't know if we're going to get to the dungeon by then. Ready for a tea break, Gobo? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down the harbor? Come meet me near the outside tables. It's quite... I'll treat you to the coffee. It's quite good. Alright. I told them to follow us, so if they follow us, it's my fault.
Okay. I don't even know where I'm going.
We're going over there. I don't know what Rain Madras wants, but I'm gonna go ahead and. If he keeps following me, I'm gonna make him orange. Oh, he's still following. Not quite sure what is going on here, but... Salise! As busy as ever. How very Sharlyan that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place the order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about Tloferoi. You might learn something. Worth a try, don't you think? We now have an Alice accompanying us. What? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, I respectfully request you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We're simply wondering if you know of the Tloferoi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're that House of Allure girl, aren't you? And the woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims, and here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you. I must apologize. It was foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Gobo. Bye-bye. I think Rain got tired of waiting for us. I think Rain figured out that I'm MSQing. I don't know how several cutscenes in a row didn't cue him into that. Oh, and Ava's still here. Well, Team Mossy is still following us. They've just changed off duty. Ahem. Hildois. Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Tloferoi and their unconscionable plans. Oh my goodness, if it isn't the young Mrs. Evalure. My apologies, I work in the office of the Forum. If word reached Master Fulchino, I was helping you. I see, we're sorry to have bothered you. Alice, maybe you should go away. They're conspiring. They're conspiring over there.
Oh dear.
I understand now. There's spies that were sent by the Forum to keep an eye on us. They're the Sharlyan secret police.
Dude, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this right.
We'll talk to Dickon. Rain Madras says, "We've been had." I love when someone yes-ands me.
Welcome, madam. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mistress Alice I see there? My word, how long's it been?
Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of The Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons in the studium.
That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing you and Master Alfredo at Sailfare Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately it's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home?
It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems.
Well, it is House Lavallure. No matter how discreet Master Fulchenot may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times?
Oh, we have questions, and only Sharlyan has answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you ever heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days?
Like the end of the world? Nothing like this, I'm afraid. What's that you're here to find information on this apocalypse?
Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me.
I wish there was more I could do to help. Maybe there is. You're a visitor to Sharlyan, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up friendly conversation while you're setting down the food. You might get the answers you're looking for.
Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? Yeah.
That's the spirit. Pay attention now. I'll explain where each of these dishes needs to go. Tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. Omelette is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting on the outside table with a friend of hers. Beyond them you should see the Makote gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got that? If you're not sure, just ask, I'll explain again. Good luck.
An explorer would not wear this outfit. A server would not wear this outfit. I'm being attacked.
Oh dear. It's a shame I don't have the right uniform.
I don't have WAP Rept, so I can't spam it and truly be obnoxious. Okay. First is the chatty group with the tea. Greetings, chatty group with the tea. You want some tea? Oh, my tea set. How lovely. Thank you. Telephone... Who? Sorry, I never heard of them. Or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you want to hear about the ritual arcane practices of the 6th Astral Era, common or esoteric, I'd be happy to talk your ear off. I would love it. I would love it. Tell me more. Oh, I have to do my job. Gisla, you want egg, right? Here's an egg. Oh, finally! 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in, no time to waste. What do you know about the Talifori? Huh? Oh yeah, I remember seeing that name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. Well, you wanted lobster. I'm sorry, that... Why are you peeing all over the lobster?
What?
Rain, what are you doing to this poor Makote's lobster? We're definitely not getting to the dungeon tonight. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish.
Oh.
It's covered in oil and piss and whatever that pink shit is.
Pepto.
Pepto-Bismol. Final days. First I heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of sorts, traveling the world procuring things that we haven't got here on Sharlyan. Priceless books, unusual life specimens, and so forth. So named for the folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain that was missed. And by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. But those Talifori make good on their audacious threats. Many uncatalogued rarities can be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about with such a frenzy? Watch this harbor, you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. Never been this hectic before, not like this. There is no justice in this world. Scrimped and saved for his lobster, and they just doused it in paint. MMOs are wonderful. You aren't going to get that emergent gameplay from something else. Any trouble with the customers? Nope, just the spies ruining the lobster. Were you able to get anyone talking? Yeah, the guy who was sad about the spies ruining his lobster told us all about gleaners. Interesting, they seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are covering. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, they've done an impressive job ensuring no one whispers in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. Well, let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from gossips and their wagging tongues. Yes, Zelisay. Away from the mossy spies. Let's get down here out of the way. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind, out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlyan? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
Hey, gleaners, I guess. Because there's boxes, and there's people, and they have backpacks.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos. A vast complex beneath the island. Sharlyan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
And it'll be out of the snow. And hopefully away from wicked Sharlyan spies. And their paint. I heard an exclamation point. They're right behind us, aren't they?
Better. Oh dear.
Okay. You two get to become orange. I need forewarning that they're on their way.
Okay, so don't tell anyone this, but apparently the gleaners are so overworked that they're taking some money under the table for outsiders to grab stuff for them.
Oh, cool. Are you contributing your tax to the free company chest? To the labyrinthine descent. My ribs, says Rain. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go ahead to Newman. I'll join you in a minute. Master Dickin will want his cups back. Going to the place with the things. But first... No, he stood up! Okay. Where are we going? We're going to the circle. To the place that people were spying at us the first time. That was a very enjoyable little aside. Did either of you know them? Or is that just random?
I think they're just randos.
Just randos who saw us reading books and came to bother. Hey, Albrecht, where did you come from? I am so sorry, Albrecht. I should not Swedish chef you.
Oh no.
Welcome back, Gobo. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? You have to have been. I don't know how else you'd be covered in all that paint. Not exactly. We did get some impromptu investigating. Evaded some Sharlyan Gestapo and turned up information on the Gleaners. Yeah. Something Labyrinthos. Makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and cargo certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan put in motion. Let's see what theory we can build from the facts. As Justola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Gobo and Alice learned in the Last Stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlayans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. And my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but also somehow certain their destruction being perpetrated by the Talaforoi is wholly unlike those apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized to an unprecedented scale. I do not think it's a stretch to conclude the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, the next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. If we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. A fine idea. Let's get away from the eyes of the city. I'm glad you approve. You won't be disappointed, I promise. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I'd like to research. I'll join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That'd be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Let's head down the stairs over there and show you where the entrance is. They followed us. Well, I guess they're back to their romantic dinner or whatever they were doing. Ready? Labyrinthos is not far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. Follow and try not to fall behind. She sets off on a brisk walk. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That. I don't think I have RP walk enabled. Like, assigned to a hotkey. Yes, I do. No, I don't. That's the default.
My god, I'm going faster than her.
Listen. I was turning on auto. Why? I just got auto walk on. I just got walk on, and you run. Alice, why are you doing this? And Halabali, Peloton makes me go faster than her.
I was already going faster than her by default.
Up here. I feel like I'm being trolled by everyone today. And including you, Alice. You're also in on it. The rostra, not far now. Put, 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 put. Here we are, through that door, down those stairs. You did remember to return to the shard back there, didn't you? It'll make life much easier if you have to come back in a hurry. Down the stairs. Ooh, this is nice. This feels cool and comfy, and there's a chocobo keep. Oh, hi. Hi, Sharlyan. Welcome to the Hall of Artifice. Should you be looking to descend, the lift will take you there. Thank you. Hi, Stola. I did not mean to click your ass. I'm sorry. How'd the form learn of the final days? Exactly how much do they know? More to the point, what do they need to know about it? What do they intend to do about it? Hopefully the answer to at least one question lies below. We're all here now, yes? We've taken the liberty of securing permission. They're still here. For our group's descent. Right, everyone, on the lift and down we go. I really hope that these two are, like, in the Party Finder freaking flyers, and, like, I'm gonna see a bunch of things posted. That would be very funny.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Oh?
In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves, and this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed.
I feel very called out now.
If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
I'm very called out right now.
Buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Emmett, you would have hated my apartment before I got chased out east. Had like 3 bookshelves and 2 tables covered in books and 4 or 5 stacks on the floor. And a
Not what you
TV covered in
expected.
books. Oh, hi.
I must admit, the artifice is very convincing.
I didn't expect you to be talking, Kryl. Hi. Sorry.
But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlyan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Ugh.
Oh, poor Kryl. No. You okay, girl?
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
You need something to eat? I have lots of food crammed in my pockets. I could use something to drink. They're still watching.
Yep.
Does one of you want to tell them about the stream so that they can come watch the stream if they want to, like, actually see what's going on? I think they figured out that we're doing MSQ. Hello. Let's sit down next to this one. Who looks so freaking... This Lala I'm sitting next to looks like me at the end of a day, at the end of a shift at work. Like, please, no more having to explain to people that a large language model is not the appropriate tool for their particular problem, and if they want a machine learning solution, it needs to be a pattern recognition AI. No more. Let me go home.
No more.
And then we have a cute bun. No, too far below me. I have to go down. Hi. Could it be that I am bisexual and I just need my guys to look like they should be taking estrogen? This guy looks like I should give him estrogen. You here to help or give me headache? Because you don't have the look of a cleaner and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have to pick up marmots running loose. I've learned about exhausted gleaners from Erinville. I also learned about exhausted gleaners from that guy sitting on top of the crate, looking like me when I'm exhausted. Ooh. Hi, girl. Let me think. The Rhea Sheeds should be in 1058, Cuban in 1059, Snurbleberry 1060, or were they 1061? My head feels like it's stuffed with Moko grass. Why more loads take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Corthan carrots for the Girabanian carrots? What then? Frickin'... Oh my god. Bad mood. Oh, they're chasing you now, Aura. Hi, Dobbin. Thank you for not being pretty. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books, and ore, and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so they take stock, you know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be they're changing the layout, Preparing for the next big expansion. Wow, they're preparing for whatever comes after Dawn Trail?
What?
They're preparing for the next big expansion. My genius goes unappreciated. Kryl, you liked my joke, right? What, Gopo? I didn't hear it. What did the cleaners have to say? Oh, so the grand operation began without warning? And every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We're right. The Forum's definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. We do well to learn more of what, specifically, the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who's tasked them to do it. If you're game, I have an idea. Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I'll turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting! Not my type, but you have fun, Kryl. You. Fun. Have I shared with you the great propaganda of transfemininity? Help me find the marmots. I've nothing suitable to pay for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. I will do it. My name is Arendelle, friend. Specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, capture these Naxxon marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For mercy, there's no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking the little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in the sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin? I've not seen any scampering around here, so you'll need to widen our search to the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There's beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot. Or you. I'll search the trees to the west. Eastern is part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. Heh. The music is so comfy. I can't apply glamour plates here. Can I do it there? Probably not. Because I don't want to be running around in this outfit. I was so frazzled by people. I can't. Well, that's what. this is for.
Nope, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, I lose my blue in this. Oh well, I can get my blue back later. Sun is pretty here. Ooh, that is a nice sun. I'm glad you called it out, Halabali. I wouldn't have looked at it otherwise.
Oh. That is pretty.
Oh, you found it!
Yep. Now all we just gotta do is get the bag out.
Hey! Get back here!
Ah. There's gotta be a cute little mouse somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Don't let it get away.
Okay. Slowly. Slowly. Behind it. Oh.
Get in the bag.
No.
Little...
Okay, I'll go look this way.
Where are you, you little thing? Gosh.
Aha!
It's them!
Let's go.
It's them! And an Aether Current. I'm not gonna be mad at them. They showed us a way to do an Aether Current.
Woohoo. Oh, Ether Current.
They're guarding it. Victory. Nothing will get in the way of the of my getting this grizzled mouse. Get in the sack. Squeak, squeak. Maha! I got it! That's a spooky... Oh, and then here. Dance on his chest. Oh, I danced on his face, and then he went, "My face!" And then I ran away. People are very fun, even if it does mean that we're almost certainly not going to get to the dungeon before Halabali has to go. Well, here you go. How do you fare? I tracked down 3, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. You got 3? Oh my god. Mr. Reliable. Ah, there's the odd moment out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in the holding cage. Yay! Thankfully, the marmots seemed to be unharmed. They held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we're able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. What do you do with them now? That's for the Forum to decide. They're the guiding authority behind Labyrinthos, after all, and this job was but one small part of the great inventory of theirs. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those were the conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the Forum has planned for those creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Gubbo! Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who's looking for lost marmots? Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I'm Kryl of the Students of Baldesion. The others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That's why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hope that by seeing these decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try to gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Bye. Next time we meet, I will bring you estrogen. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? Yeah, they're gonna eat the marmots. We've confirmed the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come from the Forum. However, gleaners have not been informed of the purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered, when the operation was begun, the Forum contacted the Gleaners Guild shop and put their people to the great work some 4 days after the Talaforoi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. But I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Talaforai's declaration is what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let's not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archaeon? From there, we can reach the lower... Kryl, are you okay? Girl? Kryl, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that'll stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it, then. At least allow me to take lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archaeon.
We'll follow the path east through the forest where you were chasing that mouse or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. No, I don't. They're easy. Can smack them real hard. Also just realized we're not in the city. So I can get my thing out. Can ride my wolfie. Yay, wolfie. There's the elevator, I presume, on account of it looks big, and there's like a bunch of wheels by it. And if you come over close to the edge, you can see... Oh! Ooh. Okay, this place is bigger than I expected and kind of cool. Have you come looked over the edge?
Not really.
You should go look over the edge.
Perhaps later.
Huge, domed, fully underground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chocobo Keep.
Food's not as good as Razathan, though. Though I've already eaten all my lassi. I still have some of these mokitsas that Mina made me. Nom nom. Behold the Archelon. As Luminon serves as Sharlyan's literary archive, so does that structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture, too, is similar. The building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved out of the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaeon contains a physical history of Sharlyan's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Yay! Deeper into the maze! We won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let's proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Custodian! And a Chocobo. Chocobo keep. No, that's not a Chocobo keep. That's a Phase Bro. I can get some gunk. Cool. Hello, custodian. One elevator, please. Greetings. We're here to peruse the Archaeon's vaults. Peruse? You're clearly not gleaners, then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldesion, but is that relevant? I was given to believe the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that'd be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Not us, then. I suppose we'd better get moving to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority is given to the
Conveyance of inventory. What? This is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Come again after our restructuring operations concluded. By that time, it'll be too late. We're so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let's step outside for the moment, shall we? Keep our eyes out for those Sharlyan spies. Who knows what terrible, terrible things they're thinking. Students of Baldesion. Stoll, are you sure we should speak here? We're at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I'd like to pursue this one further. But I doubt our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We'll seek another means to access the lower levels. Jump? It's likely the people in the area involved in restructuring in one way or another. If we're to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let's ask around. Surely someone's in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Alright, menial labor. Let's go. Everyone ran off that way, so I'm going to come over this way first. Nope. Yes. Oh, bone-weary worker. Do you need a strong back? How's that? Take you down the lift with me? Not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I found a spare moment to rest. Very fair. I did see a gleaner fellow eating out the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. He'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever he's doing. Alright.
Alright.
Future activity. Hey, there's the Chocobo Keep. Hey, student. Hey, girl. Need someone to carry things for you? Am I taking the lift? Oh, no, we're just students. They won't let us into the arcane, even though we found... Actually, I have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. It was wandering around Tranquility, so we thought we ought to donate it to the vaults. Oddest little squeal, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we have to take care of it till the arcane's open again. Aww. They found a pet, which means there's nothing to do but go outside.
Where could that person be?
Some gleaner with a big pack. Should be easy to spot, I presume. Of course, getting up there is a pain.
I found him by some clips to the stream.
It's Erinville again! Shit. I don't have estrogen, but I have a banana shake. Quiet, you'll frighten it away. Okay. It's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is very close. Well, help. Wish to help me? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters were generally better than 1. Very well. Canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green, and its cry a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with a sleeping dart. I can shoot things. Caw!
Oh.
Blam blam! Shoot Halabali. Effects are short-lived. I'll lay in wait down the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Okay. Green and goes caw. That says whack. What do you say? You say coo. You say caw, but you're not green. Are you green? Look blue.
It's kind of green.
It's kind of green. Kind of green. It's more turquoise.
Fair shot.
Oh, hello, you have a voice. Hi.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
You sound like you need to be on estrogen. Oh my god.
There you are. Any new revelations?
We've met Erinville, and he has a cute voice.
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Oh, but you can, honey. You can.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
Jump off the side.
This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Bye.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Am I the only one who thinks that Arendelle is cute?
I don't know, I hadn't really thought of it.
Well, now you can think about it. You've just seen Arendelle.
And I've forgotten.
How could you forget?
Must be the book.
Is your brain okay? First you can't read, and then you can't remember faces. Did you take a hit on the head while we were in Thavner? Some ethereal disincorporation?
I don't know.
Stola. Ura might be in trouble. Well, the medial circuit is right below us. Okay. Alfie? The way. So be it. Entrance to the mine shaft. It's faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures horned there by researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we'll need to watch our footing. Should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Okay, what hat did you give me, Alphino?
What kind of mask is that?
It's certainly protective. Alphino just wants me to look silly, though. Let's go, Alice. Right? Check strats, check gear, head in. Take it slow, don't forget to check your surroundings. We'll meet at the other end of the tunnel. Okay. Down I go through the tunnel on my whale.
Ouchies. Ouchies.
If you're experiencing ouchies, maybe you should ride my whale.
I don't think that would help.
Oh, we actually have to fight them?
Yep.
Well, now we don't guarantee that I get my whale.
ropes are clipping through the horse.
What's here? It's a pity that this isn't a two-seat mount. This would be a fun mount to have someone sit next to me on. Alfie! We made it through without incident, nothing of consequence at least. The tunnels delivered us inside the medial circuit. As I recall, this here is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Arundel's assumption holds true, the specimens being collected are in preparation for a great migration. We should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see.
Cryo, you need to tell us if something's wrong.
Is Cryo still having her headaches?
Yeah, apparently she tripped in the mines.
Cryo?
But she claims she lost her footing.
Cryo is having, like, Cryo needs to eat something. That's the end of it. Cryo has to eat something. When we meet Cryo at this agricultural community, we're gonna pour one of my banana shakes down her throat. Getting ready for Cryo.
Grapes.
Grapes! More like grape, am I right? Now I know where we are. This is Mariel Agronomics. I made a shake for you, Cryo. Drink it. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation used in foreign lands. And it's this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed the Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Food so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet the workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. This possibly knows something of the Forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same, or cast about for useful clues.
Isn't this like we're not supposed to be here, though?
Well, we're inside the security checkpoint. You know, that's why secure facilities always have just the front door and then never check your badge inside. You certainly don't have to swipe your badge to enter every room individually and close the door between every person in order to swipe the badge for the next person. That certainly never happens. So we should be fine.
Alright, that sounded oddly specific, but alright.
It's almost as though I used to work for the Department of Defense.
Hello there, I wasn't expecting visitors, not with the use of the lift being restricted.
How did you make it down here anyway? Jumped! You're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields. But I'm afraid the Forum has us filling in order lists of long, massive yet detailed requests. Literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for new. Then came the orders for the ridiculous quantities of seeds we'd already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Sounds like you should unionize and strike until they give you an answer. Hey, overwhelmed laborer. I can help. Does that help? Do I ought to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock's up via cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates atop the hill over there. Gods, hauling that lot up the slope was a job and a half. Hello. Girl, tell me about your grapes. Well, as you can see, this is one variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Oddly surprising given it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which Labyrinth was modeled, a region south of Ilzabard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to huge swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid climate. Such bountiful territories ever contested, as you might expect, used to be called Corvos before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amenus. Forum saw it not as a prize, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one of those climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. That's Grahatia's homeland. Up the hill. It's going to be up the hill, not down there, because they complained about dragging it up the hill. So it's going to be up here. It's going to be boxes. Ooh, and pretty flowers. Maybe we, oh, I'm small. I can fit in one of the boxes. I can fit in one of the boxes, and then they can take me into the aerial facility, and I can open the door and let everyone in.
I don't think it will work like that.
Bottles
someone just stacks a heavier box on top of you.
Bundles of common seeds, accompanied with sheets of reports. I'll get in the reports box. It'll be fine. They have to open the reports box to read the reports. Oh, and the flowers are important, apparently.
Huh?
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
That sounds like bullshit.
Huh.
Tell me more, big guy.
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Sharlyan at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect.
And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Oh, it's just like being in a university. Everyone's so excited to talk about their research. Even when they should keep their big fat mouths shut. I love them.
Have you learned aught of interest?
I learned about the flowers, and I wasn't able to climb in the box.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
Ooh, what's going on down there? In the forbidden secret laboratories.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
Oh, spy.
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
So let's go ask Rude.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Kryl? I have a banana blend for you. Drink it.
Kryl?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him. I can almost reach you.
Okay, Stola, what do we do? Is Kryle still unwell? Keep an eye on her, but they keep moving too. We can't let our quarry slip away. Alright, Kryle? Have the drink. Give my attentions elsewhere. We're following Erenville, weren't we? Take the drink. Okay, Alice. Erenville was headed westwards along the path. Come, we can catch him. Ah, let's go.
Oh, did I go the wrong way again?
Yes, you went east. And Erenville is going west. To sneak past the Froglands. I went the wrong way around, I think. Ah. Kryle, you still doing okay? I can still hear it. Stola? Kryle's having trouble. Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logiscon Beta, one of the Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, which one could access the upper lower tiers. Aye, if I were an agent of the Forum, it'd make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we can't expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we'll have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanished spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads! Goodness! Stola!
Ribbit!
Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not. It'll wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I'll refresh the enchantment.
Ribbit.
What am I to do? You will wait here with me, because you're freaking having a stroke or something. Which reminds me, where are the creatures? In this form, you're essentially defenseless.
Ribbit.
Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Alice and Alpha Toad will join us and follow.
Ribbit.
Ribbit, 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 ribbit. It's Alice and Alpha Toad.
Ribbit.
Oh, Setstod Ura.
Ribbit.
Gobo Toad. I see something that's indicative of the correct direction. Discuss your surroundings. Ribbit, 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 ribbit!
Oh.
Halabali croak.
I forgot to pick up the next part.
You forgot to pick up the next part?
I forgot to take the kids with me.
You forgot to pick up the kids. You forgot to talk to Alpha Toad.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work.
Yay.
So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list.
He sounds so pissed off.
If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlyan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Sharlyan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
I think I could listen to him talk about toads for a while. What do you think, Halabali? Could you listen to Arendelle talk about toads?
Yep. It was a great time.
I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. He seemed to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty, the Forum agent mentioned. Sharlyan's been called to action, and the Telethroid's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient aid to disrupt all Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. Farewell, Halabali. The end of your journey. We will see you in some future Elysian shores, in some distant, subsequent life.
What?
I can almost hear their words up on the wind. See you next week. Bye.
No.
Not you. I'm gonna finish out Sharlyan, so we can dungeon next week. A guide of sorts. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we heard, none of the Gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Stola and Kral for the moment, see what they think of this. Wow. Ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, da. Dum, bum, ba, da, da, dum. Stola? Welcome back. I trust you find Arenville then? Yeah? Please don't frog me again without consent. Interesting. I had a feeling you'd learned something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Krile and discuss how we're like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Krile. What are you up to, girl? The flowers is what you're up to, which are up there, which are inconvenient to get to from down here. Can you go any faster, Midgard Summer? I swear. For the granddaddy of all dragons, you are so slow. Definitely serving the grandfather.
Isn't that just a facsimile of Midgar Summer at this point?
Sup, Krile? Ura, pick her up. Help me pick her up and put her on the whale.
Kyle, you can't just pick up random flowers.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Wait, are you talking to Heidelin?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the First from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Menphilia's sacrifice on the First, it was to the sea, here in the Source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
Come on, Kyle, let's deal with that low blood sugar.
All too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress. You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong! Master Fortuno? What business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlyan by claiming them as assistants for your organization.
Yeah, we were looking at the Opus flowers up there, bitch.
We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlyan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities.
Those Gestapo reported us. They reported us.
Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered. not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Grah! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Okay.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
We are facing a congressional inquiry. Literally McCarthyism right here.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order.
Hi, Barney.
This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlyan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
He's not wrong. Wow. Where are we? Are we Fantasy Hamas?
Are we what?
Fantasy Hamas?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh my gosh, you are so lucky. Out on the East Coast, if you make, like, any criticism of, like, any foreign policy, people accuse you of supporting Hamas, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? They're the...
okay. Wait, now I remember what Hamas was.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something else. I thought you were saying, like, Horus.
Horus!
Horus.
Are we Fantasy Horus?
I don't know.
Tarnish the good name of the students. Galliv would be ashamed.
Galliv Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlyan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age-long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlyan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the
Raha, what did
subtleties
you
of
learn?
governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
They can't speak. Huh.
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the
They bound
sword.
by a Gaius or something?
We will
A
fulfill
Gaius?
our mission, not through strife and bloodshed,
An oath?
but
Like
survival.
a magic oath?
Looks like it.
Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Hey, it's the quote from the trailer.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order!
Listen to Barney.
Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlyan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
That's certainly not a universal opinion.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
That's right, cross your arms, be angry. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city. And our investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Sharlyan. The overall picture's grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain the actions in plain words? Survival, come what may, is my father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alphino? Alice, it is you! Hi. When I heard you'd been dragged into the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother? Emilience Levelier at your service. And you fine people must be the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father you were here... Oh, bother that! Am I to be chastised for speaking to my own children? I'm well aware that you and Master Faucheneau are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You go, girl! Oh my god. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group, and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We'll be back at the Annex when you're ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure we... Gobo, what do you think? Gobo? The Gobo Bar? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist you join us. Okay. You must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Gobo, if you'd be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter's settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. I apologize. My mother's not one to take no for an answer. What say you? So as you have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Yes. Allie! Fine, if we're going, let's get it over with. Be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you can bring yourself to throw away, childhood toys, lesbian flags. I mean, never mind. Levelier Estate's this way, straight down the stairs. Come on. To the estate. Also, your dad is asshole. Like, the mom says, "Come join us," and he fucking punishes the servants. Also, who the fuck is he to say that a mother can't visit her kids, huh?
Yeah.
As children, Alphino and I would often wait here for Father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless, leaning over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at the exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. Well, that sounds like... I'm still mad at him. Oh, there's more points of interest. Points of interest! Alice, I care what you have to say. We used to come here all the time with Grandfather. In summer, I'd dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphino, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it. Which would explain how I came to swim like an auk, and he sank like a stone. Ha ha ha.
Not all of us are buoyant, it seems.
And here you are at last. Please do come in. I am not dressed for the occasion, but that's fine.
Don't want to keep your mom waiting.
Oh, it's voiced. I'm fancy.
I'm huge.
What? What are you gawping at?
I grew up in a tiny little hut in the North Shroud with my adopted parents who ran a shop out of our living room, okay? My bed was under a counter. This place is fucking huge. It's bigger than the Rising Stones. Scion headquarters must seem squalid indeed.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
You are a spoiled princess.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days, especially,
there must have been a link where they could have sent letters. I bet she was worried sick.
Coin and other such donations.
I couldn't hear you over a million, so what were you saying?
No, I wonder if she was like super worried when the kids were out in the first.
Probably. She may not even know about it.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. 'Tis clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Oh my.
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Sure, how about I tell you about the time that I went with Alice and Alphino in to fight Bahamut and we nearly all died.
I was gonna tell her about a giant tree man, but okay.
And then Alphino nearly drowned because he can't swim. Isn't that hilarious? Hi.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
Perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alpha.
Oh, it's good on you.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
Sage.
Oh, wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Oh.
Sage Stone.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
That doesn't sound like you want... That sounds like we will beat him into
My final
submission.
gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Bye-bye. And that's that. Only the gods know when we'll be back again. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversations. Obviously, it was all too brief, and for now that'll have to suffice, as will these tokens of home we carry with us, these gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality, let's return to the Annex and rejoin our companions. Let's see. Hi, Ojika. Bye, Ojika. Enjoyed your time with the Liveliers, I hope. I'd ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them reconcile with their father, and they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secrets the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Hydaelyn is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once we've heard your report from Thavnair, we'll be well equipped to plot our next move. And I feel like that report will come next time on Dragon Ball Z. Albrecht, catch up. Next time's the dungeon. We need our tank.
Yeah, we should probably lay low for a bit.
Speaking of laying